born from the darkest depths of human savagery and forged in the crucible of unrelenting war. The 12th Legion's tale is one of ruthless efficiency and merciless violence, a necessary evil wielded by the Emperor himself. The genesis of the 12th Legion is largely lost to time, with records fragmentary at best. What remains, however, paints a picture of a legion unlike any other. While many legions drew their recruits from noble tribes and regions, the 12th's intake was indiscriminate and brutal. The Emperor sought the fiercest, most ruthless individuals, criminals, slaves, and outcasts, to forge warriors who knew no fear and showed no mercy. Psychological screenings selected for the most aggressive and remorseless, creating a force destined to be both feared and indispensable. Their first recorded engagement, the Cerberus Liberation, showcased their brutal prowess. As shock troops, they mounted direct annihilation assaults, breaking enemy lines with sheer ferocity. Despite their small numbers, their courage and violence on the battlefield became legendary. Following these initial victories, the War Hounds were held in reserve for much of the later unification wars and the reconquest of the Sol system. This strategic reserve hinted at the Emperor's foresight. Perhaps he anticipated the need for such a weapon to quell potential rebellion within his own ranks. During this period of constant readiness, the 12th Legion honed their skills and grew in numbers. Their savagery in battle became almost ritualistic, tearing enemies apart without mercy. It was during this time that the Emperor himself christened them the War Hounds. They bore the red hound badge with pride, symbolizing their loyalty and ferocity. This emblem became synonymous with their identity, a mark of their unmatched brutality and tenacity. The Cerberus Insurrection at the outset of the Great Crusade cemented the War Hounds' reputation as the Emperor's most brutal and unyielding enforcers. The insurrection on Cerberus, a hollowed-out asteroid prison colony, had plunged the population into chaos. The ruling castes had been slaughtered, and the 3 million indentured inhabitants rose in anarchic revolt. The situation escalated when it was discovered that renegade thunderwarriors, calling themselves the Tar, led the insurrection. With the Emperor's Space Marine legions already engaged elsewhere, he dispatched his War Hounds to bring Cerberus back into compliance. The Thunderwarriors, an earlier iteration of the Emperor's super soldiers, were known for their incredible strength and brutality, surpassing even that of the Astartes. Created during the Unification Wars to help the Emperor conquer Terra, they were powerful but unstable. As the Astartes legions were formed, the Thunder Warriors were rendered obsolete and, in many cases, hunted down and exterminated to prevent rebellion. Their existence had become a dark secret, an unwanted reminder of the Emperor's early experiments with genetic enhancement and the ruthlessness with which he pursued his vision of unity. Arriving swiftly, the 12th Legion launched a coordinated assault on the asteroid's surface at 0300 hours Terran sidereal time. The War Hounds attacked multiple access points with the precision and ferocity that had become their hallmark. They struck hard and fast, overwhelming the insurrectionists with sheer brutality. The Tar, though fierce and experienced, were no match for the relentless onslaught of the War Hounds. The initial breach was met with deathly resistance. The Thunder Warriors, with their immense physical prowess, fought back savagely, holding their ground in the narrow corridors of the asteroid. But the 12th Legion, driven by their unyielding determination and honed skills, pressed forward with unwavering resolve. Bolters roared, chains, swords revved, and the confined spaces of Cerberus echoed with the sounds of battle and death. By 0808 hours, Praetor Commander Caleb Hax signaled that Cerberus Primary had been subdued. The War Hounds had pushed through the defenses, their advance unstoppable. The insurrectionists' command structure lay in ruins, their leaders slaughtered. When asked by the leaders of the waiting reinforcements how many prisoners to expect to transfer into custody, Hax chillingly replied that none had been taken. Bashar Colonel Alves Scon of the Terran 22nd Dracos Regiment, who fought alongside the 12th Legion during this campaign, recorded the aftermath in harrowing detail. Leading his regiment in clearing operations, Scon and his men were tasked with rooting out the surviving rebels hiding within the labyrinthine tunnels of Cerberus. The scenes they encountered were gruesome beyond measure. The inner tunnels of the asteroid were littered with the remnants of the battle. Headless thunderwarriors lay in heaps, their bodies mutilated beyond recognition. Choke points were clogged with dismembered bodies, the brutal handiwork of the War Hounds evident in every gory detail. The indentured inhabitants of Cerberus, who had risen in desperate revolt, were found huddled together in blind panic, their lifeless eyes reflecting the terror they had faced in their final moments. The War Hounds' efficiency was undeniable. They had executed their mission with ruthless precision, leaving no room for mercy or hesitation. Scon's journals convey the horror he felt at witnessing such inhuman butchery. The scenes he described shook him to the depths of his very soul. Such was the horror left behind by the War Hounds. The legacy of the 12th Legion is one of blood and fire. They were a tool of the Emperor, designed for a specific purpose, to be unleashed when no other force could suffice. Their creation was a necessary evil, a calculated decision to ensure the survival and dominance of the fledgling Imperium. Though often horrifying, the War Hounds' actions effectively achieved their goals. The 12th Legion's ferocity and loyalty were unmatched, but it came at the cost of their humanity. As the War Hounds, they were the Emperor's blunt instrument, a legion that embodied the ruthless pragmatism necessary to forge a new order in the galaxy. Their saga is a reminder that in the pursuit of victory, the line between heroism and monstrosity can often become blurred.